Good morning, gang. Good morning. Welcome back to this week's altcoin update. First and foremost, remember, nothing discussed today is financial advice. I'm not the financial advisor, and this is all for educational purposes only. And now we've got that out of the way. We put out the request for altcoins this morning, and we've had quite a few submissions. We've just picked a select few, as obviously we can't be here all day. And you guys will get bored after 5 minutes. So, here we go. We're going to look at Syscoin, which is obviously one of the old dinosaur coins. I have no idea how you pronounce that. SEI is the ticker. And then RNDR. Okay, so they're the three we're going to take a look at. So we'll start off with Syscoin. I've never understood the fascination with dinosaur coins. They just don't offer the same return on investment. Again and again and again. You know, you can see this, obviously it's first cycle. It did this, obviously you have got this scam wick. I don't know if this scam wick appears on any other exchange, but it's on Binance right now. And then obviously the follow through, it didn't create massive new all-time highs. You know, if you're going to concentrate on altcoins this cycle, concentrate on new ones. You know, the excitement fades very fast with old ones. So what we're looking at right now, I'm looking on the monthly chart and being honest, it's not looking that exciting. Let's just throw this onto log so we can see this a little bit clearer. Okay, so what we've had here is these major lows here. Obviously, this was the run up in 2022. I've come down, tagged these lows, had a decent bounce, come back in. We've now swept these lows. Now, obviously, anyone that's a Wyckoff fan, or Wyckoff, whatever you want to say it, you know, might be looking at this as a bit of a spring, which could it be? Yeah, it could be a spring. You know, effectively, you've got the lows, then you've run the stops, and then you've reclaimed back over. If that is the case, then realistically, this is what you want to see. You don't want to see this level being lost now. So is this place I belong in here? Personally, I won't be very interested in it, but then again, I've also got to be very clear on this. I won't be interested in longing this coin anywhere. I'm more interested in newer coins, as I said. But realistically, you won't want this level going. Okay, so if we are going to see bullish continuation, ideally for an optimal entry, you'd be looking down at this level. And then once it comes down to this level, you'd then be looking for a sign of strength. Okay, bear in mind, we're looking at on the weekly at the moment. So obviously you could be zooming down into like the 4 hour, the daily. But effectively, you'd want to see then you change your structure down here. There's your sign of strength. Then looking to run it up. And obviously, if you do continue up, then first and foremost, you'd have to be aware of obviously these highs here. Likely it is running these stops and these stops back here. You're likely going to get some sort of pullback. If you get no pullback, then obviously you can look higher. And realistically, then you've got this thin zone to contend with here. Again, I'm looking at this on the weekly, so there are going to be pullbacks in between. This isn't just going to be a straight moonshot up, new all-time highs. But obviously, you get above this without a pullback, and then effectively you can look to be filling this in quite quickly, and then coming effectively into this would be your next major sticky zone. Okay, and that's effectively how I'd be looking at this. It could, I agree, it could be an accumulation range. Could this? With the deviation of the lows. But once again, you know, newer coins way more appealing, I'll be honest. If this does come down and this doesn't hold, your last point of contact to hold would be this. So if you do get a wick down into this area, especially if there's low liquidity on it, you get a wick down into this area, you've potentially got to set up within that. If that doesn't hold, then realistically it's not going to look the prettiest of charts. Be looking, I mean, if we throw in a volume profile within this, let's just do it from this point here. There you go, you can see where your point of control is. So realistically, if this doesn't hold this zone underneath, then it's probably going to be a slow grind down towards this point of control region. There's a potential, because there is some high volume nodes, as you can see here, around this sort of level. But my preference would be that point of control. If that point of control doesn't hold, then it's going to look really, really bad. We can see here just on this volume profile, you know, we're still in value. It's struggling to break out of value. Okay, so you can even see it from that point of view. They're just so much better coins to trade. so many better coins to trade. But as I say, if this is going to be bullish, then, you know, if that gives something to work with, then there you go. There's a potential there. Yeah, there's not really much to discuss on Syscoin. This one, again, I'm not going to try to pronounce it because no idea what it is. I had a look at a few charts and they've all sort of incorporate these large wicks. Regardless how you look at them. It's in an uptrend. It's in a local uptrend. So obviously looking at the daily, you know, we're still making high highs and high lows. You know, you can just see this. Until that's over, you know, shorts are against the trend. So it's kind of longs are the way forward. Weekly is in an uptrend. Monthly, it's questionable with this wick, but realistically, this is to continue. Looking at this on the daily, come out a log. There we go. So what do we get here? So we had from the low to the high. We're from on the golden pocket. That's probably more like 0.5. Tag the 0.5, moved up again. So realistically, as long as this continues above here, then you are in a daily uptrend. You know, your dips are for buying. You know, every time it takes out a new high, for example, like this, you know, it'd be a chance to skim off some profits. You can even see, you know, this perfect strategy what people do. I teach a strategy very similar to this to the members. You know, every time it takes out a new high, skim off some profits. And as you can see here, this is what people have done, which is why we've got this wick here. And then obviously it's got continuation. So obviously now you'd be looking, where does it turn around next? And then looking to see if you can get in on another higher low. But realistically, there's not much that you can cover with this. This wick is very different on different exchanges. So it's not something I'd be using to create a fib pull-off. As I said, because this is very different on different exchanges. So it's an unreliable fib pull. So effectively, you're just riding the trend until the trend's over. You know, looking at something like this, would I be interested in shorting against this trend? Not really, until it started to show some sign of weakness. You know, losing some major structure. I mean, that's even it's your 4-hour structure point is this level down here. So until it starts turning around from that, I'd be not interested in shorts and effectively looking for strong reasons to long this. But as it stands now, obviously, that was your opportunity to get up to where we are now, and then you'll be looking to see where your next opportunity is. Effectively, you just don't want to see thin moves, because one thing that you've got to be aware of is, you know, if we look at this on the daily right now, right back into log scale, and we can see, you know, thin move up, thin move up. What you want to do is you want to see move up, consolidate, move up, consolidate, move up, consolidate. You don't want to see these thin moves of it. Okay, so obviously if this continues extending in a single candle, or maybe over a couple of candles, then you just want to be cautious, making sure that if you are holding this from lower, that you are skimming profits and you're not getting overly greedy. It's one thing that people really struggle with, is the fact that you'll be looking at your P&L and you'll be seeing it printing, and you think, well, it'll just go a bit further. It'll just go a bit further. Oh, take some profits there. Oh, it'll just go a bit further. And you keep doing this until eventually it reverses on you and you just give it all back. Okay, so just make sure you are skimming profits at sensible levels. Okay, don't get overly greedy. You can always buy back in on dips. Take profits, buy back in on dips, and just keep playing it like that. You don't have to take 100% profits. Once again, it's not financial advice. Do what you want to do, but don't get overly greedy. If you didn't learn your lesson in the last bull run, learn it this time round. Okay. And finally, RNDR, a coin that we've had some fun with in the group. Looking at this, once again, decent uptrend. It's hard to. There's not much decent analysis that you can give when coins are in a strong uptrend like this. As we can see here, if we zoom into the weekly, we can probably see this a little bit more clearly. We are coming up into a macro golden pocket. So is this a place I'd be FOMO longing into this on a high time frame? No. Low time frame, there might be opportunities to get involved in the trend. But realistically, this has got to be classed as a major zone. Because it's a high time frame golden pocket from your absolute highs to your absolute lows. It's not really a place that I'd be FOMO longing into. You start clearing above that, and realistically, then you'd be looking at your next major pivot, which would be up here. Drag that on a little bit longer. Okay, so if you get no major pullback in this zone here and it just continues riding up, then look out for liquidity above here. You potentially get some sort of pullback. Is that an opportunity to go major short and bring it to brand new lows? You probably get a low time frame short out of it, but once again, you know, you're massively trading against the trend here. You know, this local trend is strong, okay? And as I just said with this, you want to see some major structure loss before you start getting aggressive on your shorts. Now, as it stands right now, even on the daily, you know, it's still making high highs and high lows. It's not losing any trend, okay? It's not losing any trend. Until it loses some major trend, longs are still in favor, okay? You know, the old saying, the trend is your friend. It's very true. You know, and you can say, well, that didn't work in the bear market. Well, it did work in the bear market because the trend was down. You were making lower lows and lower highs. Okay, so therefore, shorts were in favor. Longs were against the trend. But when longs are in favor because the trend is up, then play with the trend until it stops. That doesn't mean just randomly FOMOing at random levels and just go, right, sod it, I'm going to market buy now. Would it play out? It might do. It might do. But you want to be buying support. So yeah, as it stands right now, I won't want to be long in here because we are coming up into that macro golden pocket. But if it does clear this, then realistically, this will be your next major area. And if you get bugger all reaction there, then above that, then there's no reason why you're not looking at all-time highs. Okay, and then once it gets above that, then you're using your fib extension tool and Elliott wave to predict where we might start topping out and where's good places to skim profits. Okay, if it does reverse from here, then realistically, let's have a look at this, see what happens. If it does start to reverse, you have got a few levels to be aware of, although I wouldn't be that interested in this one. I'd be more interested in it coming back down into this sort of zone here. You've got your high volume node down here. And that's likely your next major support region. So if we do a fib pull from the absolute lows up to where we are right now, you can see here, you got your 0.5 in there, you got your 618 down here. If we do end up going a little bit higher up into this golden pocket zone, you can see this just pulls up once again. So you've got your golden pocket, again, macro golden pocket from absolute lows to absolute highs. This would be the zone to pay attention to. But once again, you know, we're looking on a weekly here, so this could take some serious time. You have got more local support before then. But yeah, for swing longs, it just wouldn't be the area. If we do come down to this sort of level, and then it gives a damn good reaction, then you potentially got a chance for a swing, but trends up. There's really nothing much to say when you're in an uptrending market. This is where the influencers look like they're really smart, because they just buy, and eventually it ends up paying off for them, and that's what happens in an uptrend, okay? TA still works, but you don't have to overcomplicate it. Okay. If you've enjoyed today's content, hit that like button. If you're not subscribed, consider subscribing, and don't forget to hit that bell notification, because it's pointless watching this video back in a week's time when the moves are already played out. Alright gang, until next time, as you were, bye bye.